When you threatened tariffs on Canada a couple weeks ago, Justin Trudeau rushed down here. He wanted to make nice. Now he's on the way out. Is that what you wanted?
I didn't think he was going to quit. He probably saw the numbers. Look, I called him Governor Trudeau because they should be the 51st state, really. It would make a great state. And the people of Canada like it. They'd pay lower taxes. They have virtually no military. They have a very small military. They pay less than 1%. They're about the lowest payer in NATO. They're supposed to pay much more. They haven't been paying. They have a lot of problems. And I was with Wayne Gretzky. I said, Wayne, would you like to be the governor of Canada? I can't imagine anybody doing any better than Wayne. Wayne was not too interested, but I think he probably would have liked statehood.
While Trump is trolling, saying that Canada should be a 51st state, it would definitely benefit Canadian gun owners. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like channel, like content, and what I do, you can support with a link. Everything is appreciated. And once again, comments on gun-related channels are being scrutinized very heavily, so be aware that comments can be removed without notice. If I remove your comment, I will tell you why. But let's talk about this. And if you remember, Trump made a joke on Truth Central, he was trolling, and said that Canada should become the 51st state of the United States. And of course, he was just joking, but the mainstream media took it to light and started, once again, doing the Trump bashing that they always do.
We are seeing a global trend of the far right surging. It isn't just happening here. But let's bring you back to the U.S. and to our local gangster, Donald Trump. He's not even president yet, and he's already spending his time sitting in his golden palace, Mar-a-Lago, muscling other countries like he's Tony Soprano with a social media site. Doing things like, reportedly, debating whether or not to invade Mexico. Threatening BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, with 100% tariffs if they don't commit to trading in dollars and not their own currencies. Demanding Hamas release all hostages being held in Gaza before his inauguration, or there will be, quote, all hell to pay in the Middle East. Even reportedly threatening Canada. According to Fox, when Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau went to Mar-a-Lago this weekend to try to talk Trump out of his 25% tariff threat, Trump apparently suggested that if Canada can't handle the tariffs that would violate the NAFTA upgrade Trump himself signed into law, the USMCA, they should just become the 51st state. Just become this 51st state instead and allow Trudeau to be reduced to governor of the state of Canada, which caused the Prime Minister and others to laugh nervously. And while some are writing that off as just a joke, just a few hours ago, Trump posted this obviously AI photo of him standing on a mountaintop next to the Canadian flag, looking off into the distance with the caption, "Oh, Canada."
But in light of that, Canada becoming a 51st state would mean that Canada would come under the United States Constitution, and gun owners in Canada would be greatly protected and their rights expanded. And that is a plus for them. Now, as we know right now, Trudeau has been under tremendous fire. His approval rating's in the toilet. The Conservative majority will take over, which Canada needs a change. They need a change. They are just wallowing under this man's leadership. But Trudeau did resign.
I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the president of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
Trudeau did resign, mostly because the Liberal Party in the country put tremendous pressure on him. They all turned on him and told him, you need to go. Because if he had stayed in, the Conservative majority would be even bigger, and they know it, and they're scrambling to try to save themselves as a political party in the country. But coming back to the idea that Canada to be the 51st state would be a plus all the way around. Not only individual rights, but also economically. Canada would benefit greatly from coming under the United States fold. Let me bring you into here. Canada, take action, save the guns, and become the 51st state of the United States. Canada is at a crossroads with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's overdue resignation, but he has resigned amidst growing internal pressure. Now is the perfect time for Canadians to reflect on their nation's future. The opportunity to join the United States as the 51st state presents a historic chance for Canada to secure its freedoms, boost its economy, and strengthen its place in the world. Together we could create a unified North America, one built on shared values, a common culture, and a commitment to liberty. That's if you can get around the Liberals in Canada, who, from what I can see, are worse than the Liberals here. But I want to come down all the way down to here. Freedom and rights, a God-given opportunity, and the Second Amendment. By becoming part of the United States, Canadians will gain access to the full spectrum of rights guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution, particularly the Second Amendment and the First. If you remember the trucker convoy, what happened during that whole fiasco, and what Trudeau did to those people. This amendment enshrines the God-given right to keep and bear arms, a right that has been increasingly eroded under the Liberal Party of Canada and Trudeau's leadership. Trudeau's anti-gun policies, from sweeping firearms ban to a flawed and expensive buyback program, have the Canadian gun owners feeling disenfranchised and under attack. And these efforts at taking your guns and your gun rights won't stop with the resignation of Trudeau, especially if the Liberals keep power. But then this article goes even further, talking about, as I spoke earlier, economic prosperity and lower taxes. You know, they have a carbon tax that is absolutely killing the people in that country. That would all go away. The trade barriers would go away. Free trade between, because there would be a state. Interstate commerce would apply. So they wouldn't have mass tariffs going back and forth. It wouldn't exist. So it would be a plus. Also nationally and geographically, when it comes to security, Canadians, their military is not as big as ours. They could become 51st state. They become included into it. We basically mesh together, and it would be a phenomenal thing for their personal security when it comes to on the national stage. So once again, win-win. But let me stick to my what I'm talking about. Let me come out of that. The chances of Canada becoming 51st state is dismal. The chances of it happening are just diametrically impossible, because certain provinces might be on board with it, but the majority of them will not. As I said, the Liberals in Canada are worse than the Liberals here, especially when it comes to ideology. But it would be interesting to see if there are calls for this to happen, and if the Canadian government will put it to a vote. Once again, chances of it happening are pretty slim, but Canadian gun owners would be the biggest winner if that were to come to pass. They would have their rights enshrined where they could not be arbitrarily curtailed by a government. As I said, the Conservative majority is predicted are going to have a nice win, and they're going to become the majority. So there's a good chance that this majority will step in and maybe take away and dismiss a lot of these gun laws that Trudeau and his minions have put in place during his tenure there, which once again would be a great thing for the Canadian gun owners. The gun laws here are nothing compared to what's going on in Canada. I have spoken about it a lot. Basically, they cannot buy a handgun. Just make it very simple. The laws that they have are insane. So it would be a blessing for gun owners in that country to basically say, yeah, we'd like to join the United States and go under their constitution and get rid of the liberal mindset that's going on in that country, which is just absolutely eroding the national sovereignty of that nation. So We'll see what happens because the conservatives are pushing for an early election to get that majority as quickly as possible, and the liberals are scrambling to basically save themselves. So we'll see if the majority does go their way, and maybe they will apply some common sense and bring this country out of the dismal position it is in right now, not only from an individual rights perspective, but also economically. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.